there. I offer and bring you blessings of rootedness. This past Sunday on the 18th of July, our biennial General Synod of the UCC concluded its week-long celebration of being the national church and gathering together as a synod, where the theme was rooted in love. And there were 3 worship experiences on the Sunday that began it, the Wednesday in the middle, and then the Sunday that ended it. And those themes around rooted in love, they began with connected to the soil, the life-giving understanding of water, and then finished with air, that we all need this breath of air. This idea of breathing in air is always been big for me, I think because I grew up on the plains of the Texas Panhandle where the wind rarely stopped blowing, and so anytime you walked outside there was a breeze. And as I sit here in the Tom Moore Pavilion, there is a breeze blowing. You can see the leaves of this peace plant blowing beside me. And well, for me, it's the breath of God. It's telling me that there is life all around me and all around us. And so on this week, as we watch July whiz past, I invite us to slow down. Whatever that might mean to you, that you would find a place to sit and to literally allow God's breath, this breathe, this air, to literally enfold you and to waft across your skin, reminding you that there is companionship available for you and that you are not alone. In regards to General Synod, now that it is over, I have permission to show videos of it. And so there is a schedule attached to this email that is offered to you as a proposed schedule. If you would like to watch any of these videos, I would be more than happy to host a moment here, time here to cast them up onto the screen, such that we as the local church could be in dialogue in response to possibly what was happening at General Synod. And just as a reminder of our polity, the General Synod speaks to the church, not for the church. So there are several resolutions that were passed that the church is being offered to take under consideration. One of those is who will speak for the trees, which is a resolution that says who literally is the voice of nature when nature doesn't really have a voice in our political systems or in those other ways that we understand our humanity, when we consume things and we forget that we're in relationship with all of creation. So that's just one example of a way that we could come together and hear what the greater church is saying about that and how we might join ourselves in that conversation. This Sunday on the 25th of July, we will enter our 3rd week of our quest of seeking and asking questions to deepen our own spirituality. In a sense that when we travel into our spirits, we travel across these lands, that our spirituality, our understanding of ourselves, our soul, it expands and it deepens, thereby hopefully or possibly expanding and deepening our understanding of God. Our theology enriches. This past Sunday, if you weren't able to join us, to get ready for this, we learned a song together, using the metaphor of singing together, understanding rhythms, understanding harmonies, knowing that some of us need 3 or 4 times to sing a rhythm, while others of us need 12 or 15 times to sing and to get that rhythm. And in that tension of how fast do we move, it's a hard conversation to have sometimes. And so in community, I hope that we are aspiring to be welcoming. We are aspiring to understand a communal process, specifically as we journey together. These next weeks, we will put some questions on the table. Those questions are in this email. As we seek to be a community of faith together, listening deep to one another, and listening to understand another, not to change another, or not to push our thoughts onto another, but to literally understand the gift and the graces of another, that there might expand my own understanding of the holy, of the sacred, of the divine. So this week, Melanie Childers, Reverend Melanie Childers, the Director of Pastoral Care, she's going to be my conversation partner. She's going to put on her hat of Director of Pastoral Relations at the hospital and chaplaincy. And we're going to ask this question that is across our wavelengths, our media outlets, and has been for a moment in time, actually a lot of time. And the question is are we in a post-Christian age? And if we do, what does that look and sound like? And what does that offer to us and or maybe cause us to ask questions about in a church that calls itself a Christian church? So how do we understand that, and what are some of the things that we need to possibly ponder and or hold? Then in the ensuing weeks, we'll ask questions that may be easier, maybe harder, I don't know, it depends on you and where you're at in your own theology. And I'm using a term, Serene Jones, who is the president of Union Theological Seminary in New York. She says theology is story, and our stories not only demand, but define our theology. And each one of you know those big, impactful stories or those events, those experiences in your own life that definitely changed your course of how you behave or how you believe or your ethos. And so in these ensuing weeks, we will ask some big questions about our story. And I invite you to offer some questions that you think that we as the church should and really could be wrestling with as we seek to understand life in the margins, which is typically where change happens, which is where growth happens, which is where we begin to expand our own understanding of God and grace and mercy and forgiveness, such that we grow in maturity together as God's creation. Big conversations, all on a Wednesday. So hopefully we'll see you on Sunday at 11. And if not, hopefully we'll see you here in the comment section or in the emails. And until next week, have a good week. And again, blessings of rootedness be with you.